Hi, welcome back to Technique of the Week. I'm Shihan Noel. Today we're going to talk about how to cover your body. When someone is trying to push you or punch you, if they're coming in a straight line, we want to basically have a method that allows us to be very quick and very effective in covering the front of our body. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pass off by bringing my hand up. I'm just going to swat that fly, if you will. While I'm doing that, this hand covers. So it comes across my body, so I'm kind of creating half of an X, if you will. And this hand is essentially covering the upper part of my body, and this is covering the lower part. So I've got my head, my solar plex, my groin covered as I make this particular movement. And then from there, I'm going to bring this hand up to the outside of the person's attack if they're blocking, if they're pushing with their right hand. So my assistant's going to come up, and what I'm going to do is demonstrate what I mean, but it basically is this movement, okay? This is Sensei Matt, and besides my assistant, he's also my son, and he's one of the chief instructors here at the martial arts studio. So as he pushes me, I'm basically going to just go slow to begin with. I'm going to basically cover my body by bringing my arm across this way. And I could just take my arm, push, and bring it across, but what happens is I do that, I'm creating almost in a sense two lines. It's basically going to here, it's actually one line, a curved line if you will, but it's basically got a lot of distance to travel, whereas this, given that my hands are down already, my hand just has to come up across my body. So when I do this, this hand comes to here, right? And then I bring this hand up. So it goes 1 and then 2. Now, I don't necessarily have to grab them. Usually when I'm doing this in reflex drill or in practice, I'll usually grab. But at the very least, we want the hand to come up this way. In many systems in karate, taekwondo, various hard style systems will use some type of blocking mechanism very similar. They'll basically do this type of thing. They'll bring their arm across their body as they do their block. Well, essentially what they're doing is they're covering their body when they do that and then bringing the hand up for the block. And so he comes in, I block and I cover, and there's a lot of things that we can do from there. I'll give you an idea of a couple, but today I want to just focus on this one movement. And all that is to cover my body. This is a front cover, and then come up and grab, or basically finish the block. So it's kind of two parts, 1, 2, all right, 1, 2, here, and then bring it across. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail, we'll just say that for another video, but I want you to understand that once I block him here, I can strike, right? I don't even have to necessarily grab him. I can punch from here, right? I can come in and get him ready for a takedown. Okay, you didn't know that was coming. So there's a lot of variables, or a lot of variations of things, a variety of things that you can do here. So we cover, I can strike, he moves his head back, I hit the throat, right? I can strike him here. He's going to pull that hand in because he's flinching, right? I just hit him in the head. I can take him into a figure 4 and actually take him to the ground. I can also take and do an arm bar, right? We'll be teaching this in a future video. So a lot of variables, a lot of things you can do. One of the things I want to point out is when we block somebody, we can either open them up or we can close them down, right? I prefer to go to the outside most of the time. If there was a bad guy number 2 over here and he comes in, I'm probably not going to go that way, because as soon as I block here and I've got someone behind me, I've turned my back to the second attacker, and that's not a good thing, right? So I'm going to cover here and move in. The only downside with opening someone up is what? He's got that other hand free, and I've got to basically come in and be aware, be cognizant of the fact that he's got his other hand available. And also the other side of it is he can also see me. So as he comes in with that other hand, I've got to make sure that I'm ready for the follow-up. Here, he can still sense where I am and see me, but not nearly as clearly just because he's turned. He's going to have to view me a little bit more peripherally than straight on. Okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So again, that was the act of covering and with a pass-off block. So I'm covering my body and then passing off this hand into with this hand, right? I'm doing an inward block and then a side block and then grabbing. All right, couple more. That was without holding on to them. And this is with hold in here. This is slow takedown. All right, again, I am Shihan Noel. I'm glad you could join us for this video. We look forward to seeing you in a future video, a technique of the week, and hopefully this will help you in your training. Take care.